Do adults actually say please? Where do you live that people don't say please? Western USA here. Adults constantly say please, even when they are just asking someone to do the job they are paid to do. I say please out in the world, but not so much at home. Tone sort of says please at home. I wouldn't say your family is being rude if you don't say please when it's just yourselves in your house, especially from what I've gathered, it's out of comfortability for you. In my family, growing up I was always told to say please about anything in the house, and in the end, it always made me feel like I was begging for simple things. Can I please have those leftovers nobody's touched in forever? Can I have juice please? As a 17-year-old after sports practice craving a sweet drink, can I please shower first? Could you please come see me race? It started to turn more into an allowance kind of thing. It was like I knew I could have certain things, but I had to be allowed to do it first, and it made me feel trapped at times. In public, it's a little different because it's the norm to say please often, which your family does, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, really. I live with my boyfriend now, and we still do say please about things, but it's not about everything if that makes sense. Saying please if we've already both sat down and I forgot something, etc. It's like a silent appreciation thing. It's still probably different for you and your husband because you know each other's rhythms well. I think it's manners to say please and thank you. I always say please and thank you. I even say please to my cat. Yeah, please and thank you. On a related note, I noticed growing up in the South that a lot of women would say sorry where excuse me or even thank you would make sense. Like if someone goes out of their way to hold the door open for you, they would say sorry instead of thank you. If someone bumped into them, they would say sorry even though it wasn't their fault. It's largely due to Southern manners, but the women definitely do it more than the men, making it seem like a weird, gender role submission thing. In Britain we say please often. One thing I noticed when I visited America that I found strange was the way that people didn't say please when ordering fast food, but no one thought that was rude. I always say please and thank you to anyone who is helping me or at a restaurant. It's just second nature to me. I think this is a you thing. I say please all the time. I make a point of saying it to my pre-K kid when I ask her to do something. You wouldn't be asking this if you were British or had spent any time in Britain on deployment. Everybody still says please, even if it's only when they are trying to squeeze by in a supermarket. Yes. When my husband and I ask each other to do stuff, it's often a bit less formal than when we address others, because we're very close to each other and we're pretty much going to help each other out if we can. With other people, including with our kids, we use please, especially with people we don't know, like if we're ordering food, for example. I'm in New Zealand. I've never thought about it, but I don't think I say it much either. I definitely say thank you, but I don't feel like please is required most of the time because it doesn't seem rude to ask for something without saying please. I'll say it more with strangers than with people I'm well acquainted with. I don't generally think it's rude if you don't use it. The Danish language has no specific word for please. They raise their children as you are raising yours, to ask nicely. However, in the US a child will most definitely have to say please often. I even think that it would be hard to get by without saying it as an adult. But having spent my first few years in Denmark, I know it is possible. I just definitely don't recommend it in this country. Yes, even at home. I would say I don't use it as often as I would outside of home, but I still say please and thank you. I saw that you got downloaded above, but I think it's great that you've made the observation and are curious about it. I always say please and thank you. My employee actually told me I didn't need to say please when I gave him a task. I will ignore him because that's just poor manners. Kids won't learn to say please unless they hear it, and not just once in a blue moon. It will save them a lot of grief later on when people might treat them like they were raised by a feral cat. The magic words are please and thank you.